Hi guys, this is Patricia from Yarny Cat Crochet. This is a crochet in chat, so if you want to get you a snack and a drink or your crochet project, and we will look at the camera, right? We will wait for you, and so just pause and let them let it play when you get back, if you want to do that. I have tea from um, Yorkshire tea. It's the biscuit tea that I bought in my Door County coffee merch mug. Y'all know how I like merch. I buy coffee from there sometimes, especially their peppermint candy cane. It's not just the regular peppermint, it's candy cane. It's around Christmas time. They don't sell it till, I think it starts in October, and then they end selling it in December, unless they have some extra that they try to clearance out or something. I suggest that if you really like the peppermint, the candy cane, get you, if you drink coffee, get you like 4 bags of it. Put it in the freezer, save it. However you gotta do. I drink it fast enough, I don't need to put it in the freezer, but it is the most pepperminty coffee. I just love it so much. It tastes like candy cane, and I just love it. Some people think peppermint's too strong, but not me. Sorry for the slurping, it's still hot. Okay. We'll put that down. Okay, so if you got everything you need, we will continue. I am making a shawl, and you guys are naming it. So far, if you go onto my community tab, sorry, everything's all tangled up. If you go onto my community tab and you look for, scroll down, it's not very far. I don't get a lot of things put on my community tab like I should. But anyway, if you scroll down, you'll find a survey that says, should we name this Fairy Forest Shawl or Avatar Shawl? I was really rooting for the Avatar, but most everybody likes Fairy Forest. So I made a promise, and that's what it's going to be called. So if you haven't voted yet and you want to, go on there and scroll down, because I'm leaving it, which it's probably not recirculating because it's been a while since I posted it, but I'm leaving the thing go until I'm done with the shop, and then whatever has the most, which will probably be Fairy Forest. But I like Avatar because if you watch the new movie Avatar Way of Water, the forest, now I'm not such a fan that I really know the names of everybody and their cultures and all that, but the forest people meet the ocean people. And I thought this really represented Avatar, so I was going to call it the Avatar Shawl. But then I thought also Fairy Forest, because forest and the bright jeweled colors, of the fairies. So, and it's not showing up as brilliantly colored as what it really is. I mean, it's the blues are really aqua. I mean, it's just really pretty. You might could see it better in the picture on the survey that I put up there. But anyway, it's my own pattern, except for how this has started out. This has started out exactly the way you start out the long tea shawl that I'm from Red Teapot that Bekah's doing a tutorial on for me, Bekah at Merrymaker. It started out just like this middle, and then I just thought of what I wanted to do, and I did this. So it's really just a 2-row repeat of double crochets, and then the second row is you always start out chain 4, 2 double crochets into the same hole in the first one. Skip one, double crochet, skip one, double crochet. Oh, and then when you do the next all double crochet row, the solid row, for every double crochet, you double crochet into the top, and for every chain space, you double crochet into the hole for the chain space, not into the chain. It kind of makes it a little different. I like it. I mean, you can't tell a whole lot just by looking at it like this, but when you're doing it, you'll see the difference. But you kind of can see it right there where it goes into the hole and then into the chain. I thought it made it different. So, and I'm only chaining one chain space, so it's a tighter holes, so it's more for a fall. Maybe less for winter, unless you're hot like me. I mean, I don't mean hot. I mean overly heated in the winter time. Now, I just found that crochet hook. I had started to record this. There it is. I started to record this, and I had to stop to find the crochet hook, so I just thought, well, I'll just record from the beginning so I don't have to edit it later. So anyway, I haven't got a lot done. Like I had planned. My son being gone has messed with me. So a lot of the time I just sit around wondering what I'm going to do next. And so I'm like what you would call dazed and confused, but not in a good way. Anybody who's watched that movie will get the reference. But anyway, yeah, I'm not dazed and confused in a good way. I miss my baby so much. He's not a baby. He's 25. He will be fine. He is actually fine. He went to Tokyo Disney. He went to several temples. He went to the ocean. He's went to several, because my kid can eat. He went to several sushi places, different kinds of places, but mostly he's eating the fire out of the sushi because he loves it. And he's taking advantage of the good food they got over there. Did I say he went to the zoo? The zoo was yesterday. But the first day, they rented, because he's there visiting his friend Maya. She's like playing tour guide, you know. He told her all the places he wanted to visit. And she, did an itinerary of what they should do and what days. And yesterday, well, it's hard to say. It wasn't exactly yesterday. It was yesterday for me. See, the days are kind of half over. Well, they're almost over when I wake up in the morning. So anyway, the days are mixed up. But if you count, today would have been the zoo day when he went to bed, which was this morning when I woke up. So anyway, so he went to the zoo. And then yesterday he was on his own because she had, her life to do there. And so he went to these arcades and he played some of the video games that he plays here. I probably should turn more so you guys can see me crochet more. Hold on. I'm doing this, excuse me, doing this in my easy chair because it's just easier. Until I get my yarn wall and everything set up, where I'll have a comfy, cozy nook to crochet in. That's my goal. That's what I want. But anyway, so yeah, he went to the arcade and he played games that he plays here, but only in Japanese. And there were crane games where you could get stuffed animals, which is much easier to get stuff out of their crane games than it is ours. Ours are more rigged. But anyway, there's our two, but after you've put so much money in, they come over and kind of help you set it up so you could win. So it's a little different. But anyway, what else did he do? Oh, and he did his laundry yesterday. Not that that's interesting, but, you know, on the day that she wasn't there, he kept himself occupied. So the first day, they rented a rickshaw. It's one of those one-wheel cart things where somebody pulls you in it, which I always feel bad for the person that's pulling the cart, but I guess they're used to it. And their tour guide was taking them around on the rickshaw, and it was really funny because he was with Maya, so the guy, I guess, assumed that they were dating. They say that they're not, and I'll respect that. But it looks like they're having a lot of fun. But anyway, so the guy was like, this is how you help a lady up into the cart. And my son got a real good kick out of it, and so did Maya. They didn't mind that the man was doing that. And then he took pictures at just about every stop. And as I am talking to you, you're going to see pictures up here somewhere. I'll put a few of the pictures just so you guys can see it. I won't know where they're at right now because I'm just talking. I'll try and link it up with what I'm talking about. So hopefully you're seeing a picture of a rickshaw up here right now, but you may not be. Because by the time I edit everything in, I may have put it somewhere different. So just ignore me. Listen to my story, but don't expect it all to be in the same spot because I'm bad at it. But anyway, so yeah, they stopped at different places and the guy took a ton of pictures of them in the rickshaw. And it was hot outside, but they still got a blanket in their lap. It's because that's the service. You get a blanket in your lap and they pull you around. So I would have just said no thank you, but I guess they were just too polite. But it was hot. You can tell because my son is sweating in the pictures. But anyway, but you know, we are northern. I mean, we're far enough south that we're right next to Kentucky, but we're still considered northern. We're southern Indiana, almost in the southern part of the United States, but we're not. We're just above the line. But it's hot here, but we're used to a little bit cooler climate than where he's at in Japan, which is Tokyo. But anyway, so they went and saw, there's a giant Buddha statue. Hopefully you're seeing that picture now. Gosh, there were so many things that they saw. It's just all a jumble in my head right now. But and like I said, they went to the ocean, and they went to Disneyland. So there's a lot of good pictures. And you know, people start out as friends, then they end up in a relationship. So they're just friends, but they're good friends. A mother can have some wishful thinking, a little bit of joy since her son is away. But yeah, I miss him like you wouldn't believe. Well, you probably would if you've had kids and they've moved away. But see, it doesn't seem quite real. That's why I'm not so upset, because it just doesn't seem quite real because he's coming home next weekend. And you know, I know he's coming home, so I'm not as upset because I know he's coming back. But like after he finally does move, that's probably going to be bad. So it's affected me. I had to go to the hospital. For some reason, on some people, stress can cause low blood pressures, which I've never heard of before in my life. But they say that there is strange incidences when sometimes your blood pressure will just drop. And my blood pressure did. It dropped. And I felt really funny. I felt dizzy and nauseous. Had to fight being sick, just to leave it at that without going into too much detail, because some of you guys may be snacking, and I apologize. But, sorry. But, yeah, it was, my blood pressure was really, really low, and, so I went into the hospital, and of course when you get there, they do all the tests, and they say, oh, well, you're just having, oh, I also had heart palpitations, which you would think would mean high heart rate, but no, my heart rate was low. It was like, the lowest I got was like 58, which is not good. But by the time I get there and they're helping me, and I'm not as scared, you know, because everything just really scared me, then they're getting regular readings. And so they gave me a paper on heart palpitations, because that, I mean, they did a heart thing and everything. That they could tell from the those things that they stick all over you. And so they just gave me a paper saying how to deal with heart palpitations, and sent me home and said, you know, call your doctor if you don't. But so what I think it was, because stress can cause it, I think that it was just that. It was stress. The stress of, you know, just dealing with, you know, motherhood, I guess. I know a lot of people are thinking there's a lot more things you could be stressed about, but I only have one son. I'm a little bit different than some people, and really, except for 2 weeks or a week here and there, just a couple of times in his whole life has he ever been away from me. And he's a mama's boy in the fact that he loves his mama, but he's hold on, I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. That's my husband on the phone. So he's a mama's boy in the fact that he loves his mama, but he isn't a mama's boy. He handles, I guess that's just a bad terminology anyway for anybody to label somebody, but he handles his own. He's perfectly fine. It's just me. I've just been so close to him this whole time, so I kind of my life kind of revolves around him, you know, so I just had to get a new hobby. So anyway, that's why I started the channel, actually, back when I did last year. Oh, by the way, thank you to everybody who said such lovely things on my podiversary video. I didn't comment too much because it was also, well, just watch the video and then you'll know why I didn't. Because I couldn't. But anyway, I really appreciate everybody and all the lovely things they said. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. And but anyway, so that's why I started my channel, because I knew I was going to need something to keep me occupied, and it has. I mean, it's helped a whole lot. So I have that in place. So that's in place for when he leaves. I'll still have that to do. And of course, I want to make up enough stuff to sell, which this shawl may be in the stock of stuff that I do sell. After I get it finished, I'll put it in a in a bag for selling. But anyway, I needed, I'm still going to need other things to help occupy my time till I get more used to the idea and get my life in a good place. It's gonna be hard. Well, you see, I could barely talk about it, so it's gonna be hard. But yeah. But I'm so proud of him. He's doing so well, and he was just talking. He was on the phone with me, walking to because you have to walk almost everywhere there. I mean, you can drive a car, obviously, but everything's so close to public transportation that you don't really need one if you live and work, in an area that has all that. I mean, there are rural places, but where he's at there's handy transportation, and they just walk everywhere. And but anyway, back to my point. He was walking to the bus subway. I don't know. He was walking to one of those things, and he was talking to me on the phone. And he got up to the station. He was just refilling his little transit card, and just like talking to me on the phone, just refilling his transit card, just like he's a local. And it hit me right then. It hit me that he's going to be totally fine. Because he's been meeting her at the places where they're going to go look. He gets there by himself, which, I mean, he's 25. He should have those capabilities. For me as a mother, and knowing it's a different country and everything, I would have thought it was harder. But, he's put in years of studying the language and studying the culture, and actually studying these places by watching videos of people that have been to these places, and knowing, watching the videos of the people doing the things that he needs to do, like loading a transit card and all that. So he was well prepared for this trip, and I couldn't be more proud. I mean, to me, I wouldn't know which end was up. I'd be very scared if you punked me down in the middle of Tokyo right now. Not because it's a bad place or a crime-filled place, because it's not. It's very crime-free. I mean, they have their moments sometimes, but it's nothing like over here. You hear about bad things every night on the news. Why I don't watch it. But anyway, over there it's just way less crime. and he's doing well, so I'm very, very proud of him. Not so proud of myself. I should be way further on all the stuff that I need to get done before he gets back. For one, we're going to have a birthday party. Not really a party for my dad. We're going to have dinner, but I call it a birthday party. That's the day after my son gets back. And I want the house to be less cluttered and nice and neat for the party. And so I'm not where I want to be on that. But I still have a whole week. And I tend to get more stuff done when I'm under pressure. When there's a deadline. So probably I'll get most of that done next Thursday and Friday. But I want to try and get some of it finished this weekend. Today's Saturday, so probably work on it tomorrow. The reason why I'm filming this crochet and chat today, that got hung up a little bit, is because of my husband went to help my Aunt Becky do some stuff her and her husband, my uncle, do some stuff to get their house ready for appraisal. They're not selling it. They did some reconstruction work on it, and I guess they have to get it appraised for the insurance purposes because now it's worth more. They took it's really cool, you guys, if you're into like old things. They took this old schoolhouse. It was a girls school, like a dormitory. They lived there, but like way long time ago. Well, it's too well. I wanted to say it was 3. It's just 2. There's a little bit of an attic space, I think. But anyway, so it's huge. It's like, well, it had a dorm rooms on either side of a hallway off like the big main part. And then upstairs, it's all the same space, but huge and open. So they put a couple of bedrooms upstairs and a bathroom, kind of like a suite up there. And then there's this big communal area where we can have our family get-togethers. And then downstairs there's this huge kitchen and like a sitting room area with glass doors to it, kind of like a sunroom. And that hallway off of the side, and a big eating area, like kitchen tables and stuff. And then a hallway off the side that has lots more bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. So it's kind of like a mini mansion. They bought it for cheap because it was in a lot of disrepair. And they have put a lot of money into fixing it up. But now they have this really fancy home that they can enjoy and have family get-togethers at. Because I've told the people that are new probably don't know, but I have a huge family, and we have get-togethers, at the holidays and stuff like everybody else does. So we just have many at Becky's house now because she's got the room. But yeah. So my point in all that was, I just realized I couldn't remember why I was talking about that. My husband went there to help, I guess, do some cleanup, to pick up materials and stuff from the workers doing the renovations and getting it ready for the appraisal. I guess the appraisal is going to be on Monday or something. So he goes over there and helps out when they need it, and extra set of strong arms. And so I took the opportunity, since I was because he's been home this whole week on vacation. We've kind of done like a staycation, and I've been with him the whole time, so it was kind of hard to record because I needed to spend time with him. But excuse me, I took this opportunity to do some crochet and chat, which I'm glad I did, because last night when I was thinking about it, I really didn't want to. For some reason, all of a sudden, my moods have been crazy. I know it's because of this change, but it's a good change. I need to do stuff for me. I need to, me and my husband need to do stuff together, and it's how life is supposed to be. It's I did it to myself. I made my son the center of my universe, and I'm not sorry that I did it. It's just going to be a rough adjustment for me is all. But anyway, happy video, happy talk. So I'm really excited about finishing this shawl. I had set it aside. I'd kind of forgotten about it, and so I really want to get it finished and put out there for or put into a box for whenever I do get a booth or something somewhere. I was thinking about finding out if they're going to have any fall, which I know they will probably, fall booths set up in the town square. So I've had pictures before of, I think they were the 4th of July pictures or Memorial Day pictures, I don't know, but there's a big gazebo that my mom and my husband and my son are standing in. If you look at my community tab or anywhere that I've posted it, but there's a gazebo in the middle of the town square, and there's like it's park like around the gazebo, and there's picnic tables and stuff, and then it's actually a square. There's a road in a square around that middle part, and then there's little shops and buildings around the edge of that, and City Hall is there as well. Well, anyway, they have car shows up there. They block off half of the square because you don't have to drive all the way around it, and they have classic cars, and there's women that set up like Avon booths, and some women make jewelry, and sometimes they have food booths up there. So and that happens all during the summer, which eventually I'll have enough stock, especially with my son being gone. I'll probably be crocheting a lot. But anyway, they I want to see if how much that costs, if it costs anything, which I bet it does, but I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't, because our town is just really great. They provide so much free entertainment and stuff for us during the year, movies in the park and all kinds of stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if didn't cost anything to set up a booth, but I would also not be surprised if there was a fee. But I bet you it's not very expensive, which would be nice if I had a bunch of stuff, made up to sell, which I don't really yet, and I don't know if I would be ready by the fall, but I think that I should at least get a box started of stuff to try, because medical bills, everything else I'm not going to talk about, because I'm not trying to depress everybody. I actually am pretty good in the grand scheme of things. I'm good. I just have to get back into a groove of a different way of life. I mean, it's a new normal after he leaves. It's just going to be the way it is. I mean, it's one thing your son's moving out, but it's a whole other thing he leaves the country. And you can't hug him every time you see him, because you're only going to see him on FaceTime, and maybe once or twice a year if he gets to. Plane rides are expensive. They're not as expensive leaving Japan as they are going, but just everything's more expensive over here. But yeah, so I might not get to see him except for FaceTime, which is good. That'll be good. And who knows what the future holds. You tell people you're filming, they still text you. And she knows who she is. She's going to watch this and laugh and probably comment. But anyway. My husband called me. I had to pause it, which you've already seen at this point in the video. I told him, I said, honey, I'm going to film while you're gone. Call me but when you're on your way back, because I knew I'd be done filming by the time he was on his way back. So I didn't worry about that phone call. But what does he do when he gets there? He immediately calls me. I'm like, great. But it wasn't too bad. I got back to what I was talking about. So he can survive another day. Oh, goodness. So, what are y'all working on? I'd like to know if you crocheted or knitted or painted or resin art while you were watching my video. Please tell me. It's really fun, and I'm sincere in my asking. It's not just so that you'll comment. I know that matters, but it's don't matter as much to me. What matters is hearing how y'all are doing. So I really like to know. And what are some projects you hope to be working on? I hope to be doing some coffee cozies. I have some cute little buttons that I'll show you whenever I start doing that. I was going to do them on this video, but then I thought I really would like to get this shawl done and marked, the box ticked off for this. And, that way I won't have that hanging over my head for any other projects. I'm going to try, because I still have a bunch of bags to go through. I've already frogged one shawl project. Well, it was actually a poncho. I just didn't want to do it anymore. I think I'm going to turn that yarn into a blanket, a lap throw. It would be good for the fall. I tell you what. Sorry about the beeps and texts. Anyway. Yeah, I think I'm going to make that. It was a really pretty, it was that fez yarn. Whenever, gosh, what was the name of that? Terracotta. Whenever terracotta was the color of the year, I think it might have been 2020, before the pandemic. Terracotta was the color of the beginning of that year, I think. But anyway, I like to know what the color of the year is, and then I like to get it and use it in the projects. And my brother bought me like a lot of those fezzes, and they're really big. They're gymongous beehive looking things. But so it was orangey, basically orangey color. And I love Rust's color, orange, all in that color spectrum. Really fall colors or sunset colors. I love all those. But anyway, so I think I'm going to make a lap blanket out of it, because I think it would be a nice fall blanket. But anyway, I still have tons of project bags to go through. And this was in one of them. I just recently started this not too long ago, but it ended up in a bag, and I forgot about that easy. Out of sight, out of mind. I swear I don't know. I'm going to have to buy some of that Prevagen, that brain supplement stuff that you see on television, because I am going to need it. But anyway, yeah. Oh, and then I found all of my Christmas yarn here, there, and yonder. And Christmas is coming up, so what I did was I bagged that all in one area so that I will be able to find it. I have some Christmas dishcloth cotton, and I have some sparkly red and some sparkly white and sparkle green. So that's all in one. That's good, all in one place. I found all kinds of yarn, never been opened. It's really sad that I had let it get that bad. I mean, I know we all have yarn walls. Those are fine. But when you got bags and totes and stuff and you don't even know what's in them, it's too much. I need to get organized. Sam has all of hers organized. Sam from Memphis she's got all of hers organized on the computer. Very organized. I would like to be that organized, so I knew how many skeins of what yarn I had. And so I got me a couple more totes just until I get the yarn wall, so that when I go through the bags, I can reball the yarn if I've already started a project, which every single one of them has a project that I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't lying when I said I had about 20 whips. I do. And I need to fix it. So if I'm not going to finish the project, there's a couple projects I know I have that I want to finish because they're sweaters for me. That's the thing, is I'll start something for me, and then I'll need to do 5 things for somebody else, and I will put mine on the back burner. And that's pretty much what it is back burner bags all over the place. Gonna start a fire. No. No. My funniness. Anyway, so I need to ball up back into a yarn ball what I'm not gonna finish. They're just some things that I'm just not interested in anymore. And then put that yarn in the couple totes that I bought. And then I'm going to set up a crochet area on my side of the bedroom where I could film. Because I know you guys don't mind my wall and my decorations and my curtains and stuff like that. But it would be nice to have a dedicated area set up for filming. I probably won't get that done by next weekend, but I will at least have went through, my goal is to at least go through all my bags, dust the house, mop and sweep, clean the bathroom, and the kitchen thoroughly before I have people over again. When you get, something like rheumatoid arthritis, you let it stop you from doing a lot of things, because when you do stuff, you hurt. So, you try to avoid hurting. But you just, in the long run, you just can't do that because things just pile up. And that's pretty much is what happened. What had happened was, I make no excuses, I'm lazy. But if I was to make an excuse, it'd be, I do have a little bit of an excuse, but not much. But anyway, enough of that. So, we've probably had about 30 minutes of crocheting, if you count the beginning video where my husband called and stopped me. But I'll crochet for a little bit more. I know there's some of you out there that like the longer videos, and I understand. I really do too, actually. I like to put my friends on in the evening when I just want to relax. The problem is, though, sometimes I end up falling asleep, not because they're boring, but because I'm so relaxed that I fall asleep. It's like getting to chat with your friends at the end of the day, even though we don't chat. And well, we do sometimes when it's live. Which, by the way, Kiwi at it's Adrian. Kiwi's her bird. Adrian at Kiwi's Crochet. Well, I'll put the name in there because I'm sorry, but my brain is not working. But everybody knows who she is. Everybody knows. But anyway, she needs some watch hours. So if you guys are like cleaning house or just want something to do while you're crocheting, if you could please throw on her playlist, and I'll put her link in the description. I'll put everybody who I've talked about, Sam's link in the description. Please go check out their channel, so show their channel some love and some watch hours, because that's really important to us content creators. If you watch our playlists, I also need hours. But I'm not forcing anybody, just if you want to, which I couldn't force you anyway, but I just want you guys to know that any little bit of love you show the channel is very well appreciated and doesn't go unnoticed. But yeah, Kiwi needs just a few, Adrian, I'm so sorry, Adrian. Adrian needs just a few more hours. Well, Kiwi needs it too. It's for his mama. But anyway, she needs just a few more hours to make her be able to get partial, I think it's just partial monetization for her channel. It might be the full monetization. I don't know exactly. But anyway, I've been putting her videos, her playlists on at night, and hoping that I'm helping a little bit. But I think Sam said that she needed some video hours, and I know I do. I'm not anywhere near where I need to be on mine, so if you want to do spread a little joy, do that for me, please. But especially for Kiwi, because she's so close. Like if you guys did it for me, that would be great, but I probably wouldn't make the goal before my time is up, because it resets every year, unless they change that part, but I don't think they're gonna. But anyway, Kiwi, or Adrian, I swear, Adrian is so close that if we all did it, if we all put on her playlist, it wouldn't take no time at all for her to get her goal. And you know, that is so encouraging and heartwarming, and just so exciting to think about, helping somebody make a goal. I mean, helping somebody to do something that they, you know, that's their wish to have that, and then you help fulfill it. It's very rewarding. I'm all about spreading love and joy, and because there's not enough of it in this world. If you all have stuck around for a while, and I know quite a few of you do, you know that about me. That's what I'm all about. There's enough hate and darkness in this world without us adding to it. So we can make some light, make some joy. Any way we can spread the joy, that's what I'm all about. So anyway, oh, speaking of that, so Mike and Sam call them hugs when you make a shawl and you send it to somebody, because it's hugging them, you know, it's cute. But anyway, I made Maya the Maya shawl, which was an open shell stitch shawl, and it was a hit. It was rectangular shaped, and I might have a picture of it up here if I think about it when I'm editing, but it's not fully open because it was so long. I made it, I spread my arms out, which I'm a short person, but she is too, so I'm thinking it's close to her size. And then I made sure that I had enough stitches with the stitch count to fully extend my arms and a little bit past my fingertips, so that when she wrapped it around her, it would, you know, plus I'm a bigger woman, so it definitely probably fit her pretty good. But I followed, because the open shell stitch, you needed a count of 7, stitch count of 7 plus 5 at the end. So I made sure that it complied with that. So it was like 182 stitches, I think. And anyway, I did the open shell stitch, and I did, was it 12 rows of shells, which is actually 24 rows. And, but anyway, so it was a nice amount to go halfway down her back and then to wrap over her shoulders for like an evening. If you're wearing an evening dress, then you know, you'd have a wrap to go with it. Or fall, you know, to wear it. Around here, we'd wear it around the campfires. But then they smell like campfires, so you'd have to dedicate one just to campfire night. Because otherwise, you're going to go around smelling like a campfire. Because you can't be washing them all the time. You would, you know, wear them out. But anyway, so she said when she got it, she said to, my son told me, she said, she made that with her own hands? And he goes, yeah. And she said that she really loved it and that she would wear it to fall festival and at her office. So I thought that was really awesome. So a hug I made um, is somebody's going to wear who lives in Japan, in another country. It's kind of neat. Which I know you all are all used to that, who make hugs and have already sent them all over the world. It's no big deal. But to me, it was my very first one, so it's a big deal to me. I'm glad that she loved it. It was, I struggled a little bit with the open shelled stitch. I didn't care for it as much. Not that it didn't look pretty, because I would never send something to somebody that I didn't think looked pretty. It's just, it was more chunkier than what I'm used to dealing with, and the stitch was, not the yarn, but, and the way that it attached to the next thing, I don't know, there was a little bit of space in between a couple of the stitches on the shell that I didn't like, but it's just, it was the nature of the pattern, not the pattern of the stitch. But anyway, it looked really good, and it was nice and sparkly, and it was a turquoise, but like a dark turquoise. And to me, it reminded me of a moonlit night on the ocean with the sparkly of the stars and the moon on the water. Kind of, that's what it reminded me of. And it doesn't really show up good in pictures. In pictures, it looks like a navy blue, but it's not navy. It's a dark turquoise. But anyway, so that was a hit, and I was very, very happy about that. So I will be making more hugs. I don't know when, but I will. Whew. Well, let's see. So, on the home front, me and my husband have went to, just the other day, yesterday actually, we went to his hometown of Georgetown, Indiana. Well, he was born in Louisville, Kentucky, but when he was getting ready to start high school, they moved over here to Indiana in Georgetown. And so he grew up in the high school days over here. So anyway, we went to Georgetown, and they have a drive-in movie theater there. We didn't go to it, but I thought that was a neat little tidbit of information. There's still a drive-in theater working one. As a matter of fact, they're playing the Ninja Turtles movie. I half wanted to stay and watch it, but we didn't. But anyway, we looked around the town to see what had changed, and went and looked at his old school. We just did a drive-through, basically. It's a small town. I believe it's smaller than this one. He says not, but we'll let him win. It was his hometown. Anyway, so in a town next to that town is where the Polyfreeze is. It's been there since the 50s, I think, and it has this really neat neon parrot, and it's Polly's freeze, Polly the parrot. And I took a picture of that, and I might put that up here too. If you see it, then I did. But anyway, and I got a frozen banana. They take a banana and they dip it in chocolate, and then they roll it in peanuts, and or you can get one without peanuts, like if you're allergic to peanuts. But I really didn't want, because we had when we got up, we went to the Copper Kettle here in town, which is really cool. It's this diner, and it's been open for a really long time. It's the town's only, well, no, I can't say that, because there's 2 other sit-in restaurants, but it was there way before those other sit-in restaurants. And it's just that old diner feel, and it's fun and homey and hometown thing to do. So he took me there for breakfast, so it wasn't real long after that we drove out. So I wasn't really hungry for ice cream, especially not. And I usually don't eat very much ice cream anyway because I'm diabetic. But I thought, well, I'll have a frozen banana, which was still too much, but it was good and enjoyable. And I took pictures of us sitting together underneath this tree. It was just a really nice, breezy, cool morning kind of day. And so I enjoyed that a whole lot. And what else have we done while my son was gone? We did pay-per-view movies. What movies did we watch? There was a new one that we watched, but I can't remember what was the movie. I started to watch the new Jurassic Park movie, but I didn't like it, so we just didn't finish that one. And we watched the Barbie movie before my son left at the theater, the movie theater. But there was another movie. Oh, the Transformers movie. It was pretty good. I liked it. Not as good as some of the other Transformer movies I watched, but I still liked it. I still enjoyed it. But anyway, we rented that and had like popcorn. When we went to see Avatar at the movie theaters, they had souvenir buckets, popcorn buckets. So we had 2 of them. So we popped popcorn and put them in the buckets and watched movies at home like at the theater. It was kind of a fun thing to do. I mean, you don't have to. You could just eat right out of the popcorn bag, but I wanted the experience. So we did that. What else have we done? Well, we haven't done a whole lot because we didn't have a whole lot of money to do anything. But, all the bills are due. But let's see. Oh, we went to a Goodwill and I found 2 shirts, which I don't normally do because, you don't know what the conditions of people's homes are, and some people just drop stuff off there and it doesn't get washed. But I found a couple really decent shirts that were worth saving, and so I got those. And let's see. I know we've done other things. It's just hard to remember. We watched a lot of movies on the TV, but we did get out too. I'd like to remember what that was, but for some reason it's eluding me. I think my brain has gone screwy since Craig has left. Which, by the way, if you ever get confused about the names, my son and my husband are both named Craig. And so we call them Big Craig and Little Craig, which is funny because my son now is taller than my husband. So Big Craig is actually Little Craig, and, vice versa. But, yeah, so if I say Craig, sometimes it'll be my husband, sometimes it'll be my son. But I try just to say my husband or my son so I don't get people confused. But anyway, well, I am running out of things to talk about, so I better get off here before I start boring everybody. I didn't mean to stick my tongue out. So let's see. I have a couple of projects I'm going to be working on. The coffee cozies and all that. I told you about that already. That may be in a video upcoming. There will be another oolong tea shawl update as soon as Bekah puts out another one of those, and hopefully, another crocheting chat when I come up with some more things to talk about and I can remember and not have brain fog. So I will see everybody in the next video. Remember to be a little joy bomb in your corner of the world. Bye bye.